My name is Sarah Newell. I'm 34 years old, and I found out my marriage was over from a hospital bed, watching the noon news with the sound off. On screen, boarding a luxury cruise liner at Port Miami, were my parents, my sister, and my husband, laughing in a linen shirt I had ironed myself. I was 31 weeks pregnant, hooked to a blood pressure monitor and feeling something cold slide through me. I checked my phone. There it was. A charge on my credit card, 6 days old. Cruise trip. $3,750. I called my husband. "Where are you?" I asked. "At work," he said calmly. Calmly. I smiled at the ceiling and I whispered, "Enjoy yourself." And right there, with my daughter drumming her heels under my ribs, I made up my mind to end it all. Not my life. My life was just getting started, hiccuping away on the fetal monitor. The lie my life was built on. What I did from that hospital bed over the next 6 weeks, with a laptop, a nurse named Rosa, and 15 years of my family's numbers in my head, is why my father now tells people his own daughter stabbed this family. He's right about one thing. It was surgical. Welcome back to Calm Drama Stories, where family secrets come to light, and quiet women stop being quiet. If you've ever been the one who does the family's paperwork and never gets a seat at the family's table, drop a comment below and be sure to subscribe. Let me back up 5 weeks. I'm a CPA, senior accounting manager at a logistics company in Miami, the person who signs off when the numbers are finally true. I've been married to Derek Voss for 5 years. He's 36, handsome in the way that closes deals, and he works as sales director for my father's company, Newell Marine Group, boat dealership and charter fleet, 12 slips of gleaming white fiberglass off the causeway. That's the shape of it. I married a man who works for my father, which meant, though I didn't do the math until later, that I was the only person at our dinner table whose paycheck didn't run through my dad. We had a good house on Coral Way, a nursery half-painted the yellow of lemon sherbet, and a daughter due in 9 weeks. And I had a second job nobody ever called a job. Every January, for 15 years since I was 19 years old, I tidied the books for Newell Marine Group. Unpaid. Of course unpaid. You don't invoice family. My father would hand me a box of statements and a bookkeeper's summary, pour me the good coffee, and say I was the only one he trusted with the real numbers. I want you to remember that phrase, the real numbers. In my family, January was how I proved my love. In spreadsheets, reconciled to the penny, signed where the preparer signs. I was proud of it. The way you're proud of any language you're fluent in, before you find out what's actually being said. My blood pressure, by the way, was perfect back then. The obstetrician has a chart. You can watch my family happen to it. To understand my father, you need one sentence, and he'll say it for free. Ray Newell, 62, silver hair, handshake like a boat winch, is a self-made man who sells beautiful boats to people who mostly can't afford them, and his gospel, said at showrooms, at christenings, at my wedding, is this: looking poor costs more than being poor. He believes it the way other men believe in God. The Newells were always doing great. The cars said so. The watch said so. The 4th of July party with the raw bar said so. My sister Kayla, 30, was the company's marketing director, a job with no hours I ever witnessed, and my mother Bonnie ran the family's image the way some women run a household. Invitations out, appearances up, questions down. And me? I was the secret weapon. That's what my father called me, his hand warm on my shoulder, in front of exactly the guests he wanted to overhear it. Our secret weapon. For 15 years there was a chair attached to that compliment, the CFO seat, coming to me when we expand, promised at 19, repromised at 24, toasted at 29 in front of a table of dealers. The expansion always came. New slips, new trucks, a bigger party. The chair never did. Titles are for strangers, my father said. Family doesn't need org charts. I saw it. I want to be clear that I saw it. I'm a woman who finds discrepancies for a living, and this one was mine to find. I just kept booking my love where he told me to book it, every January, and carried the difference forward like goodwill. That's the thing about being fluent in a language. You can read every word and still miss what it's for. The hospital part started on a Tuesday in my 31st week. Routine appointment. And then the cuff went around my arm and the nurse's face did the thing nurses' faces do when they've decided not to alarm you. 158/94. Preeclampsia risk, they said. Not an emergency. A watch. And watching, for blood pressure like mine, meant admission. The antepartum unit? A bed by the window, monitors that turned my daughter's heartbeat into a soundtrack, and a whiteboard by the door where each shift wrote my numbers in blue marker. I could work a little from the laptop, walk the hallway twice a day, and otherwise my job was to stay calm and grow a person. Derek brought my pillow from home the first night and stayed 40 minutes. The visits thinned from there. This quarter is insane, babe. Big numbers coming. My mother texted red hearts. My father sent a photo of a sunset from the marina with no words, which for him is intimacy. And that week, the family calendar had an event I'd heard about for a month. The dealer conference in Tampa. All of them going. Dad, Mom, Kayla, Derek. 4 days. Maybe 5. Big accounts. Huge for the company. Rest, my mother told me on the phone. Grow my granddaughter. We'll all be boring in Tampa. I remember feeling grateful. I want to put that on the record because it's the detail I'd change if I could. My family left town to lie to me, and I lay in that bed, feeling grateful they had somewhere important to be. The nurse named Rosa wrote my numbers on the whiteboard and said the baby had a strong heart. Somebody in that room needed one. It was a Thursday, lunch tray untouched, TV murmuring to itself in the corner. The noon news ran a fluff piece. A brand new luxury liner making her maiden voyage out of Port Miami. Champagne, streamers,